Good evening, guys. Hope it's about 7:40. Just pulled out of the office. Heading to go pick up a friend. We're gonna go grab dinner. Probably go to Bojangles or something kind of cheap. I don't know. We might kind of move some ribs. Might go to Longhorn or something, get some ribs. But what I wanted to touch base on, we've had a pretty busy week. Last week wasn't all that good. We were one of the few junk removal companies that were slow, and I guess that's relative. We were still doing about 20 jobs a day. So, I mean, our slow is busy to a lot of companies, but, relatively we were slow. So, this week's been much, much busier. We've had some big jobs. We got about a 20 load job coming up in Charlotte at the end of the month. Sorry, I got some sun going on here. I think it's messing up the camera a little bit, but we got about a 20 load job coming up at the end of the month in Charlotte. So that'll be a real large job, and looking forward to hitting it. But what you always got to remember is whenever you're slow, you're going to pick back up. So now when you're slow, stay busy, stay selling, make sure your trucks are fixed up, be out there trying to get more business. So when you do get, one, maybe you'll get a couple jobs to keep you from being quite as slow. Two, when you do get busier, you'll be even busier. Remember, when it's rainy outside, eventually the sun is going to come back out and you're going to get busy. When it's sunny outside, this is what will get you all in trouble. When it's sunny outside, then you'll think it's going to stay that way, and that's when you get in trouble. So you want to be able to keep up with business. You want to be able to offer same-day service. You should never be booked out more than you really should never be booked out. You should always be able to offer same-day service. Those of you booked out 4 or 5 days or a week or something like that, y'all should add another truck and another crew a long time ago. We always add, as soon as we get to the point we are booking consistently 1 day out. So, and even before then, but when we were first building our company, we added a second truck as soon as we couldn't do same day. So if we got to the point where we were busy on one truck, we added a second truck immediately. Same thing for the third and fourth. Now we added and the fifth and the sixth. We added the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. We've recently sold one of those dump trucks, and then we've got 2 pickup trucks and dump trailers. But the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th were added a little bit in advance of that, because at that point we had more income coming in. We had enough people, we could put them in there as crews, and then that would shorten people's days. We'd be able to accomplish as many jobs, short people's days, and ensure we can still do same-day service. At the same time, keep everybody as happy as possible. Y'all are you gotta add when you can, but don't when your things are going really well, when the sun is shining, don't go out there and buy stuff you don't really need. Pickup trucks you don't need, new cars you don't need, a boat, toys, stuff like that. Because when the sun is out, you always have to remember the rain is going to be coming. So it's never, the weather is constantly changing, just like the business climate is constantly changing. And in order to stay in business, in order to not go out of business and weather that changing climate, you need to be in the position where you're not buying a bunch of crap you don't really need at the start. And always, when you're buying that stuff, think about how slow you were at one point recently. How slow you were at one point recently is, can you afford that stuff? Can you make the payment, and can you afford that stuff when it gets slow? Because it is going to get slow again. So just trying to help everybody avoid some of the pits that we've gone through, because we've certainly made mistakes like that before. But at the same time, don't be afraid to spend money on stuff that's going to make you money. It's the crap that doesn't make you money that's going to get you into trouble. So hopefully that helps everybody out. That helps you avoid some of the issues we've had in the past. Make sure y'all are buying new trucks and expanding crews as soon as you can. I don't want to hear anybody being booked a week out, 2 days out, a day out. You need to have your shit straight where you can get to people immediately. Otherwise, you're leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. You might not even know it, but if every time you turn somebody away, you're turning away several $1,000s in lifetime value of that customer. Several thousand being turned away, thrown out the door right there. You got to get to people quick. Talk to everybody real soon. Y'all have a great night.